I'm going live. I apologize. Okay, everybody, I want to welcome you in to this live stream here on YouTube. I'm still learning live stream, so I was just talking for like a minute to nobody. But for tonight's video, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look really at 4 plays. We're going to take a look at 3 different plays from the Titans' Monday night victory over the Dolphins. Great job by Will Levis getting those last 2 touchdowns within the last 3 minutes of the game. So let's go ahead and we're going to talk about these particular plays. What I want to talk about is one. We're going to talk about the first touchdown that was then when they did the 2-point conversion, because it was really kind of weird what the Dolphins were doing in terms of coverage over on DeAndre Hopkins. And it was pretty easy. What the 2-point play was really pretty easy because I just don't understand what the Dolphins were doing there. We're going to talk about that movement. Abrupt movement penalty. I still don't know if anybody's ever been explained or one of the rest has explained why they called that penalty. I don't get it. We're then also going to go ahead and take a look at a Cincinnati Bengals touchdown because it was really good. I really like what they're doing there in Cincinnati. Hold on. Let me just take a look at something real quick here. Coach Zach Taylor doing a lot of good things there with the Bengals. And so let's take and getting Jake Browning ready and giving him things that he can do really well. So this is the touchdown that occurs where the Titans are going to go for 2. And one of the things that's really kind of the reason I'm confused, guys, and this is why I want to talk about it, especially here on YouTube for you guys, and this will be live afterwards, and you guys can all leave your comments and let me know your thoughts down below, is we've got DeAndre Hopkins right here, and he's basically just running a quick slant. Really not really even that really a quick slant, sorry. He's just running like a snag route right here, okay? And then you've got Westbrook-Akine. He is running just kind of a sit-down snag route out here. And the Dolphins, they do a good job of switching. What's going to happen is you're going to have, I'm going to butcher this name, Coho. He is going to switch onto Hopkins, and then Xavier Howard is going to go ahead and switch onto Akine. Excuse me, Westbrook-Akine. He's going to switch onto Westbrook-Akine, but unfortunately, the rush doesn't get there. They only rush 4. Will Levis is going to step up and throw a touchdown pass. So let's just go through it, right? So let's run the play so you guys can see why I'm talking about it, right? Pretty simple. They're trying to get a lot of movement around, just some simple stuff. Rush doesn't keep control, and Hopkins is able to get away for the touchdown. Let's go back again and watch it one more time. Right, we're trying to get movement, trying to get some man beaters, take advantage of the man. And what the Dolphins are doing is they're doing kind of what a lot of teams are doing, which is if the receiver over the number 2 receiver on the inside, let's say right here, this is the number 2 receiver right here. Okay, this is number 2 receiver. If that receiver goes outside, then they're expecting something coming back inside towards them like this, and they're switching off. So the eyes are switching to the outside to see if something's coming back inside. If both receivers stay to the outside, then he's just going to stay with the man that he's on. But they're going to switch and things like that, and that's what you got. Just the rush gets way too far upfield and allows Will to step underneath, and then your spy comes up. Is he a spy or is he a robber? It looks more like a robber. It's cover 1 with a robber. Robert comes up to make a stop, and they just lose track of Hopkins, and he works himself away. Because remember, he sits, and now he's going to work away. Good job by Hopkins, touchdown. So nothing really too fancy there, but that's not why I wanted to talk about this play. And we'll watch the end zone view for you guys, so you guys can watch the end zone view right now of this play. All right, here comes the robber. Oh, we're just going to dump it over the top. Reason I wanted to talk about this is so they just did the switch, right? But on this play, they're not going to do that switch. I don't get it. So they just did it, and it's almost like they were like, oh, well, we got burnt. And what you're going to have happen right here is you're going to have Hopkins just come inside and just run really just to be in the way. And then Westbrook-Akine is just going to run out a speed out, and no one's able to get to him, right? Coho is going to get blocked, and Howard doesn't switch off. So I'm not sure I'm understanding why the Dolphins didn't switch, right? So let's just watch the play here so you can see exactly what it is that I'm talking about, right? So we're going to get this route, but nobody goes with him. So I don't know why. You think it's almost a bait defensive call? They're hoping they try to use the banjo rules against them and they would still be able to pick it up? You're talking about on this play right here? Tyler in the chat is saying he thinks it's almost a bait defensive call. So you think they're trying to bait him? Or what do you think it is? Because is it just a miscommunication? Is it just because I'm wondering if because it's not as hard an inside route by Hopkins? Huh. Try to use the band. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. What are the banjo rules, right? We better explain what banjo rules are. Yeah, I get you. They're hoping the route's an angle, that he's going outside. Kind of, guys, what they're trying to do is they're hoping that, I get what Tyler's saying in the chat. What Tyler's saying is they're hoping that this route is just something like this. You're seeing that right now with a lot of teams. I've done 2 breakdowns so far where 2 different teams have used it against the Titans, where the Titans are switching, and instead of breaking outside so that Howard would then switch off to Westbrook-Akine, then instead, when that happens, then breaking back to the inside. So they're probably hoping that it was something that, where, for example, here with the route, and maybe that's the case, maybe that is the case, like where he's coming inside instead of switching and then breaking to the corner by Hopkins, which would then place I'm saying his name completely wrong. I know I am. Saying Coho behind, putting Coho behind Hopkins because they've switched. That's why. Basically, you would have something like this: come sit down, and then have the breakout to the outside, so that Howard has switched off to Westbrook-Akine, and instead, it's actually the corner route that they're hoping. I get what he's trying to say. When we're talking banjo rules, that's what it is. Breaking routes, trying to break up stuff. Best way to put it is, how would you describe the banjo rules? Basically, like breaking tendency. I don't know how to put it. Basically, hold on a second, guys. Sorry, I got to respond to this text. First in and first out. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. First in and first out. They're trying to say I guess that's true. They were hoping that they were going to use that and they were going to break it, but man, that's why it's so hard with those routes. Right? Tyler put it best, first in and first out. That's just so risky, right? Because if you're guessing, right? You're guessing, then that's what happens, and we can see that that's how they get the 2-point conversion. So I guess you could say that they are. But look at the turn by Coho. Look what Coho's doing. He's turning. I don't know if they communicated because I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know because I'm looking at Coho turning, and that's why I'm confused, guys. Because his body action doesn't say that, right? Am I wrong in assuming and looking at when I look at that? Am I wrong when I look at that? And guys, this is how coaches talk to each other. They debate stuff and discuss. Because to me, if he's thinking no, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is it's just a miscommunication. I think Howard was not thinking that it was because that's why I was like, did they miscommunicate or were they trying something different? But I think it's just a miscommunication, really, right there. And you can kind of see the disappointment on the Dolphins' faces. I didn't want to spend too much time on this play. I just thought it was interesting that they tried to run, that they were switching for those routes, and then didn't get the switch on the next play. They got it right the first time, but Will Levis made them all wrong by being able to step up in the pocket. And then we've got, that's a good cut, by the way. All right. I want to tell you guys something. That's a good cut by the back. Comes out. He's going to come out and make the cut here on the edge. You got to make that cut if you're the back there. Can't miss. Comes out, gets a cut. Attacks the inside leg, gets that cut. And defensive line not able to get there. They're not able to get the pressure. Right? That's Ogba. He gets cut. Attacks the inside leg. Good cut. Gets him down. 2-point conversion's good, right? So let's go ahead and look at it from the end zone view. Yeah, I think I think Howard is incorrect on that. I think Howard just didn't get the call. Just because of the way it is. So let's go back to it real quick. And the reason the cut's so good, guys, as Tyler's saying in the chat, he's getting him down immediately. It's not like one of those cuts and then the guy's stumbling forward. He's cut. He's down. There's nowhere. No one's going to be able to get in the quarterback's face. And so it's just an easier throw. No one's able to make the play. Good job right there. Right? So that's done by Spears, Ty J. Spears. So let's give him some credit. Good job. Look how he does it, guys. Look how he does his cut as well. Right? Comes in. He's going at a side. He's not just diving at a leg. He's going side, so it's a lot harder. He's going low. Not as easy to get it. Was that a bad snap? Nope. Will Levis just almost stumbles. Okay. All right, so let's well, I'm kind of done talking about this play. Here's the play that I really want to talk about, guys. This is the play that I really, really want to talk about. Okay? Because I have zero clue why this penalty is called. This is the abrupt movement penalty that is called on this play, right? And they're calling it on number, let me make sure I have it, Zach Sealer, number 92, right here. He is the one that's going to get called for it. And I still don't know how this is getting called a penalty, right? I am still confused how this is a penalty on the Dolphins defense. Abrupt movement penalty. And I've heard some people being like, well, I heard some people say, well, they were, how do I put it? They were sitting there calling out the play. They were calling out they were giving the snap count. Well, that's not what the ref said. There's a delay of game and false, there's deceit. That's basically giving out a false command where you're like, go, move, something like that. That's not what was called. What was called was abrupt movement. Guys, I don't know how you get this on the defense, right? Offense, right? Offensive movement. That's like when the quarterback's like up underneath center, he goes, ready, set, hut. Snap in the head hard, trying to get movement. That's what that is. But to call it on the defense blows my mind because the only way you can really call it on the defense is if, for example, safety is running down at the line and then briefly stops just before But even then, that's hard, right? Like, I don't know, because the defense can move. You could have your backer running around in a circle pre-snap, and it's not a penalty, right? That is that, and I saw some people being like, "Well, you can't do it so close to the snap." There is no rule in football that I've seen yet that explains why this call was made, right? Unless there's some rule that I have never heard of as a coach or anything like that. Well, apparently I haven't, because this got called, where the defense has to be set. They could be dancing. They could be punching each other. They could be running around in circles, like I said, at the snap. They can be moving. It is the offense that has to be set. So for me, I don't get it. Right? That's the problem. That's why I'm like, I don't get this call, and I don't like it, because what is the point of this? Right? What was the purpose of this? And that is what is confusing me the most about this call, right? Like, how do I put it? Guys, okay, let's run the play again. We're just running at full speed. And you tell me what it is that's setting the offense to move forward. And there's only one thing that I can think of. But this, to me, is just the line shift. That's just a line shift. And one of the things that I did read, and there's been no explanation from the NFL on this call. I think people just forgot about it because they were so focused on the fact that Kadarius Toney was over the line, and there's so many mad people. You can't call that foul there. You can't throw that flag there. You can't do that. Like, okay, yeah, well, you can. I mean, it happened in the Super Bowl, Chiefs fans. Okay, but what I don't understand, especially on this play, is why the refs are calling it. And there's only one reason I think the refs call this. And from what I've read, guys, it's kind of like a judgment call. But I mean, even usually somebody tries to defend the call, or it goes, "Oh, I can see why they called that on the broadcast." None of the broadcasters knew what to say when the call was made, because they were just like flabbergasted. Right? So here's what I think they're calling, because it's you'll see it from the end zone view who it is. It's our guy right here, right? I can't even remember the name of that ref anymore, the position of that ref anymore, right? But he's the one who calls it. He's the one who throws it. And I think it's just a judgment call. I think he judges it. And the only reason I can say that he makes the judgment call, guys, is this. Okay? See if you've noticed anything different from post-shift from... Go ahead and type it. That's fine, Tyler. I would be very confused to see. I think there's only one thing that's really doing that. I think it's not a very good... I think it's a bad thing. I didn't see anything from the refs. So, guys, if you see something from the refs, let me know. But I didn't. But see if there's anything that's being done from pre-snap, from pre-shift to post-shift. Any difference in the defensive lineman? And hopefully you guys have seen it, but I'll run it again. There's only one thing that I can think of that would make the official call this, but I still, to this date, do not get it. And yeah, this rule, I don't like the rule. I think it's a bad rule. I think it's not good for football to have this be the rule. But this is a bad call. I just think it's a bad call. Right? Like everybody is just like, what are you talking about? They're shifting to the left. That's all they're doing. They're only shifting to their left, and you're... So I'm curious to see what the rule was that they're trying to use for their thing, because I'll be honest, I 2023. Okay, let's go. 2023 NFL rulebook. AR 7.1. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. 7.1. Wait. I want to see this rule because I think that there's. Let's see here, guys. Sorry, guys. This is how it goes on live streams. Where the heck is it? Prior to the snap, left wing back A8 and left right tight end A9 abruptly move from the left side of the formation to the right side. This action causes nose guard B to use the line directly across the to move to the neutral zone. The ball is snapped with B3 in the neutral zone. Anyone immediately takes a knee. False start. Any shift by the offense must be made in a non-abrupt manner. The play should be blown dead. Hold on a second here, guys. Let me hold on a second here. Let me hide my screen real quick and I'll bring that in so you guys can see what it is that Tyler's talking about in the chat. Okay, so let me do this. Let's go in, scroll down to right here. Let me. Third and 3 on. So, maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. Delay by the defense. Delay by the defense. Oh, well, that's not good. That's the wrong one. Okay, here we go, guys. This is the one. 3rd and 10 on on Team B's 30. While Team A is at the line of scrimmage and A1 is calling signals, defensive tackle B1A abruptly moves in an effort to cause A2 to false start, or misjudges the snap signal and moves forward into the neutral zone, but backs out before the snap. There's no reaction by teammate players. 3rd and 5 on B team's 25. Delay of game defense. Blow the whistle, kill play immediately, whether A2 or any offensive player reacts. B, no foul. The question is what I think that's the problem is that's a pretty blatant judgment call. That's a tough rule to me because what is the abrupt movement? Is it, and it's not defined. I guess you could say that. The problem is there's no reaction by teammate players. See, I don't know. I think that's just a judgment call. And again, I'm willing to bet there's probably been snaps that are moving a little bit. I think everybody was just surprised and confused because it's just like it's a movement down the. We've seen so many shifts, and it's. I don't know that I've ever seen this penalty called, guys, on a defensive line shift. Right, like offensive line work against line shifts all the time. They're used to them. It's the receiver that moves. It's not the offensive line, is it? It's just the receiver. It's Westbrook Akine. He's the only one that moves. Notice none of the other offensive linemen move, so I don't know. I guess is this abrupt enough? I think the herky jerky movement is more like something like where you're jumping up. Abrupt movements like you're acting like you're going to go up, right? Like you're in the stance and you're going and you're go. Here's what I would say it's more like. I'll give you an example. What I would prefer they call. They're down in their stance and then they come up like this, right? Like they're just going to stand up. That's a jerky, abrupt movement, right? That's something that's like, oh, right? Like they're not crossing the line, but it's obviously something that they're trying to do to make someone move. Line shifts happen all the time. I think that the ref just misjudged. But here's what here's why I think it was a judgment call by the ref, because that's just a straight judgment call, guys. You have to judge what is abrupt as a ref on that call. That's how I look at that call. Right, that's how I'm looking at that call right now. That's just an abrupt. Right? Here's why I think that the ref called it though, guys. And here's why I think it, and I'll play it one more time. And you tell me what you think, Tyler. Why they called it. Okay, so there we just had the snap. False start occurred. Why do you think they called abrupt shift on the defensive lineman? There's only one reason that I think, and I'll show it from the end zone view for you guys so you can see. Ooh, look at that. There's only one way that I could think that this guy's making this judgment call. Right? Like, yeah, well, yeah, there's so many things that you could call. That's why I'm like, I don't know that I would make this judgment call. There's only one reason I think that this call is made, though. Anybody notice yet why I personally think, and this is where the NFL would do good to have the ref explain why they made this call. What led to you seeing abrupt movement? What was the abrupt movement that you said, that's abrupt movement? Because, that helps people clarify, right? That. Okay, well, now we know. The only thing I can think of that might have made the ref, and I'm sorry, I'm looking at the chat, but the only thing that I think of that could have made me think this way is this, guys. And I'll show you from the sideline view. Same time as the leg by Levis, in your opinion? Could be. Notice which hand is down. Their left hand is the one that's down. Then when they shift, look which hand's down. I'm wondering if he's thinking that that's an abrupt movement to make them think that they're coming off the ball and the hand is coming towards the defender and making them move. I'm wondering if he didn't see the left hand just come up and stay, and he thought that he was making some type of movement with the left hand, and that's why he called it. Because watch it from the end zone view. Right? There's the hand. Notice now he's reaching for his flag. Notice that's when he starts reaching for his flag. So maybe it is with the Will Levis leg. But, I mean, there isn't. But, Tyler, that's why I say I think it's a judgment call. I think the ref loses track of the arm, and I think he's thinking something. I think he's thinking that there's doing something with the hands. I don't know. I could be wrong. There's nothing. No, I've looked it up today. I looked it up. I went and I Googled. Did the refs explain? And everyone's kind of like confused. Nobody has an answer to this call in the game. And this is a big thing because now you should know if you're a D-line coach, okay, don't do this so the refs call this on you. But nobody knows right now. Nobody has a clue. And that's the problem, right? That's why I say the NFL is not doing themselves any good, right? If you're a defensive line coach, wouldn't you want to know this? You're damn right you would want to know. Hey, what are you doing? What are you going to call on me? So I think that's one of the problems for them. I don't know if it's a hand switch. I personally think it is. I think he's just assuming the minute that they switch the hands, right? Like his left hand's not switching, like he's doing something like this, or I don't know. Maybe he's just seeing something in his brain. Because the minute that hand switches, and maybe it's the fact that the left tackle, I know. I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing. I don't know, guys. I honestly don't know. I'm just saying what I'm thinking. Is it right? Probably not. I'll be honest. Probably not. But I don't know what to think here. Right? Is it because when he moves, all of a sudden it makes the left tackle put his arm up? Watch. The left tackle puts his arm up like, oh, there's left. I don't know. But see, there's the ref saying it, and watch the hand. He points. He points at it. He points at the side like he had already made that call. So I don't know. I think it's a bad call. I don't like this call. I think this is a bad call. That was a bad call by the ref. And it's unfortunate that he made that call. I think this is a bad call. And I think the NFL needs to explain this one because every D-line should know, hey, if you're doing something that may get you penalized and a line shift, that would be important. But there's nothing in this movement that really does said anything, right? You wouldn't, if they didn't shift and the quarterback put his leg up and he jumped, there's no penalty. So why is it because they're shifting? That like there's just everybody. I mean, look at this. Look at this. He's not even arguing that they did anything. This is also part of the problem. Westbrook Akine isn't going, no, man, look, they did something. He's not even fighting it. Nobody is, nobody on the Titans team is arguing. That's another reason why that call, I think, shocked so many people. Right? Usually you have, hey, no, they were moving, man. They were moving. He jumped off sides. He sold it. His whole reaction is just, oh, man, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I moved. This is the whole thing. It's not until they see the move. It's not until they see the ref point that the Titans are like, oh, yeah, it's on them. It's on them. And then they start making their argument. But look at the whole reaction. Tell me which Titans player believes that it's not that he just didn't move. He believes he moved. He's not even. Look at the hand. He's not going, oh, man, look what they did. Look at this. Not one player. Not one other player on the Titans right there is thinking, this is bullshit. That guy jumped. That guy was abrupt. Not one. Not one effing guy. And you're going to sit there and say this is a penalty? I've seen more fighting by offensive players when, even though it is their guy, if there's any type of movement that might be construed as trying to draw them off sides. I see none of that here. Just look at them all. All right, I've beat this a dead horse. But I mean, look at it. Like, oh, okay. I think it's a bad call. I think the ref just assumed something that he didn't see. And then when he gets into the side, it gets in post game and they go, "Why did you call this penalty?" And he sees that the hand didn't do anything at all. He's going to go, "Oops. Oops." Now, in the grand scheme of things, did it affect this game? No, all it did was move them closer. Right? It just made them be closer. They got the touchdown. And congratulations to them. I mean, congratulations to the Titans. Good job, coming back. All right, so there's one more play that I want to talk about for this stream. And it's the Bengals touchdown. Let's just look at it. Look at this beautiful screen. Get an end around fake, play action, boot screen, and there ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. I'm sorry, Tyler. Tyler is a Colts fan, and we're going to have to look at this one because it's really well designed, right? We've got Jamar Chase going behind. So you're going to fake that end around action, play action. Going to come up, act like he's blocking. In fact, let's look at it from the end zone view first. Sorry. Before we go into it, let's just look at it from the end zone view, right? We got Brown giving the play action fake. I want you guys to see just how good it is. Everybody coming down. Those big men get running, trying to get downfield. And it's just a beautiful touchdown. Hold on. Go back. Okay. There we go. All right. So, right, we get the nice inside zone action coming across on the wham. End around. And then Jamar's just going to stay out here, sit right here. Got a vertical clear. Going to run across right here. And basically because the Colts are in man coverage, even if they've been zone, but it really is because they're in man coverage, everybody goes with the action, right? Safety's going to go with the over route, covering it. And so because Brown's able to come up and sell and then just leak out, and there's only one guy that's really ready to stop him, that's the man that's the back who has him in coverage, that the line gets that block and it's off to the races. So again, let's just run through it. And I just want to talk about it because it's so great, right? Trying to get there. Nope. I love that the old lineman knows I don't need to block that guy because Brown's just going to outrun him. He's taking a terrible angle. This is a terrible. He knows. He's saying, I know. Right? Look at this. They don't even bother blocking the backer because they know backer's going underneath him. Yep. Moment the backer went for the undercut, it was a touchdown, as Tyler says. Okay. Good play. I like the design. Look how much of the defense is influenced. Everybody's influenced because all the action is telling you that it's all going to the left. And then you run the screen. This is a good job by Jake Browning setting it up. Get the one block. Bad angle right here. He needs to just keep fighting across. You're trying to force him to come. You're trying to force the runner to get back to your team. Instead, goes for the undercut. Line knows not to block someone that's going underneath them because they'll never catch up. And the minute he does, it's easy. Linemen don't even touch anybody, but look at that. They're still running downfield. Hey guys, don't let anybody ever tell you that linemen aren't athletes. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah. He loses by what? 2 yards? That's an offensive lineman. That's an offensive lineman, folks. Okay. All these people besmirching the names of offensive linemen saying they aren't athletes. Look at this. All right, get out. Block. Okay, go, go, go. Create that wall. Let them go underneath you. I mean, come on. Come on. Gotta love it. Great touchdown play. So that's just too good. That's why I want to talk about it. It's just such a good play, guys. Right? It's just such a good design. It's a great look at all the eyes. Everybody, all the action's flowing one way, and then you throw it back the other way. And I'm going to be honest, as I watched the film, the Colts struggled against screens. I think there were about 3 or 4 screens that got at least 10 yards or more against the Colts. The Colts were not very good against screens, so they're gonna need to work on that. Because when I went back and watched the film, I was like, oh look, another screen, and it's going good. So Zach Taylor, good job on that. He did a great job getting him set up. Browning is really stepping into this role. I think there's a lot of good things that are being done by Zach Taylor to help his quarterback out, which I'm really happy to see. So that's just a good job right there, okay? We're going to go ahead and end this stream here on YouTube. I appreciate everybody who has come in and participated in today. We talked about that first touchdown with them switching the coverage in man. And then on the second play, it looks like a missed coverage. Them not switching as well. And then really I don't understand the play. I don't understand the call. I think it's a bad call by the ref. We went over the rule for the abrupt movement play that was called on Sealer of the Dolphins on the Monday Night Football game. And then we just talked about the screenplay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back over to Twitch. We're going to do some NCAA 14 tonight, guys. We're going to play NCAA 14. Now, I'm more than willing to play it on YouTube on this channel, but I don't know if people that come watch the breakdowns really want to watch it on YouTube. But, I'm more than willing to do it. I'm more than willing to have fun with it. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go to the end screen and end the stream here on YouTube. So let's go ahead and go to that right now. I want to give a big shout out to our booster members here on YouTube. Their support here on the channel is designed to help out. They get their name in every video just like this, including live streams here on the end screen. The recommended video will be most likely another breakdown video. That's for this going forward, guys. When you come back to this video, we'll see you next time, though, on the stream.